Nagbabalik tayo here on Kababayan Today. We're reading excerpts of this book, Women Against Marcos. We have the author here joining us all the way from San Francisco. Kasama natin si Mila de Guzman. Mila, maraming salamat sa pagpunta nyo sa programa namin.
Maraming salamat din, Giselle, sa pag-imbita sa akin sa programa mo.
Okay, so pag-usapan natin, ang susunod natin babasahin ay ang account ni Jeline Avila. Paano mo kilala si Jeline?
Si Jeline at ako, we were both members of the Union of Democratic Filipinos. So I know very well her work. She was the leader of the anti-Marcos movement here in the States. So she was a teenager at the UP, University of the Philippines, when she became an activist. But after Marcos declared martial law, she was arrested and put in jail. Put in Camp Crame for a couple of days, where she witnessed students like her being beaten up. Okay, and so after she was released, her mother got so worried about her that she asked Jeline's brother, who lived in the States, to send her a ticket, an airline ticket. And while she was really heartbroken about leaving the Philippines, she was assured by her co-activists that she could become active here again. And she did become, as soon as she arrived here, she started seeking for an organization to join. And she became the coordinator of the Coalition Against the Marcos Dictatorship. It's a national organization that fought against that organized Filipinos here.
Okay. Bakit matatamaan talaga ang ating mga kababayan na nanunood na nasa Hawaii, Mila?
I think it's important na malaman nila ang other side. Because I think if you're from the Ilocos region, there were a lot of projects that Marcos did in that region, okay? And so, but at the same time, you have to look at the other side of it, the kind of human rights violations, the amount of money that was stolen from the country, the women who were raped, the people, yes, the women and men who were killed because of their expressing their beliefs.
Yes.
So that has to account for the other side of the picture.
Okay, let's start this reading by Jeline Avila. She says, "No aloha for Marcos. On September 14, as soon as Marcos's plane landed at the Hickam Air Force Base in Honolulu, the local Committee for Human Rights in the Philippines, a coalition that included CAMD, greeted him with a protest action. The protest continued in front of the Ilikay Hotel where he stayed before going on to Washington, D.C. The chants of demonstrators hounded him during the rest of his stay on the island of Oahu."
The state visit in Washington, D.C. began on September 16. Our chapters held simultaneous demonstrations to protest President Reagan's welcome for the Philippine dictator, signaling that the visit would not be a smooth ride for Marcos and his wife, Imelda.
Earlier in the day, the Reagans received the Marcoses in the south lawn of the White House with full military honors. He held up anti-Marcos banners in front of the presidential residence, but we reserved a bigger action for that evening's state dinner. We brought our protest props in advance of the demonstration, and a CAMD member stayed behind to guard the table with our materials. Suddenly, a man who earlier had been seen talking to members of Marcos's party hit him. We viewed the incident, which got media coverage, as an attempt to threaten and intimidate anyone who considered joining the protest that evening.
We began congregating in front of the White House as the sunlight was starting to fade. We knew that we would only have a few moments to get near the dictator and his entourage as they were entering the gate. Our spirited group of more than 300 held up huge banners with bold letters calling for U.S. bases out of the Philippines and down with the Marcos dictatorship.
As the convoy of shiny black limousines arrived, we became more energized and our chanting grew louder. The MFP's Raul Manglapos pressed his body as close as he could to the White House fence and yelled, "Marcos! Hitler! Dictator! Puppet!" at the top of his voice, an unexpected outburst from the mild-mannered former senator. We created a ruckus among the White House security staff. And there you go. Wow, okay. Bakit ang mga Pilipino nakakalimot, Tita Mila? Mabilis makalimot.
Alam mo kasi, okay, for one thing, 30 years na since Marcos was overthrown, right? Isa pa, the Marcoses were able to return in 1991 and were able to come back politically. As you know, Imelda is part of the Congress, Philippine Congress. She's a congresswoman. The daughter, Amy, is the governor of Ilocos Norte, and Bongbong Marcos is senator.
Yeah, so why do they forget?
That's exactly, and what we're trying to do now. You know,
That's right.
And I'm not the only one, but I'm joining a lot of people in the Philippines now who are really writing books, who are doing educational work among universities,
Just
schools.
to educate
Just
people
to
para
educate people.
hindi nila makalimutan ang nangyari, di ba po?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's very important to do that.
Exactly.
Because the young people, and ang millennials sa atin is actually a big, our population is very young.
Yes.
Among the 54 million voters in the Philippines, 20 million are millennials.
Exactly.
18 to 35 years old.
All right. So please, mga kababayan, do get a copy of the book, Women Against Marcos. Tita Mila, maraming salamat sa pagpunta nyo dito at sana magkita tayo muli.
Salamat din, Giselle.
All right. Mga kababayan, bumili na po kayo ng librong ito. Ibigay nyo sa mga kamag-anak nyo. Kailangan nyo pong basahin in its entirety. Maraming salamat po. Ako po si G. Tonji. Nagpapaalam.
For past shows of Kababayan Today, please go online to